Hey guys, it's Kim. I'm going to do a 30-minute basic flow with you, and Anchovies will probably be joining us, so he just wanted to say hi. Whenever you are ready, we can go ahead and get started out in child's pose. So, forehead resting on your mat, knees together or spread wide, big toes touching, and just breathing here. So taking a moment to just settle in and beginning to slow down and focus on your breath. So take a big breath in, filling up with air, and then a long exhale out, just letting go completely. So big breath in, fill up, long exhale out, just letting go. So big breath in, filling up, expanding through the ribs and back ribs. And then exhaling out, just letting go completely. Maybe spreading your fingers wide, pressing into your palms. Maybe gently rolling your forehead from side to side. Always knowing that child's pose is here. So taking child's pose if you need a break. Taking child's pose if you just need to come back to the breath. So one more nice long inhale, fill up, expand through your ribs and back ribs. Exhale it all out, let it go. Go ahead and slowly make your way up to your hands and knees. So stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And we'll take a few rounds of our cat-cow. So we'll inhale our crown to the front, tail to the back. Exhale to your cat, round your back, push out all of the air. So inhale to your cow. Exhale to your cat. So just moving with the breath. Warming up the spine. And then after one more round of each, making your way back to a neutral spine, neutral position, and we'll come into our extended puppy pose. So go ahead and walk your palms toward the top of your mat, spread your fingers wide, and then just melt your chest towards your mat. So breathing here and maybe feeling your chest expand with each inhale. And then walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. We'll take a few hip rolls to the right. So go ahead and get out any snaps, crackles, and pops. Moving in a way that taking a few hip rolls on each side. We'll go ahead and make our way back to center and press back to your first downward facing dog. So we want our feet about hip width apart, heels pressing toward the mat. So fingers spread wide, pressing into the palms. So relax your head and neck, reach your tail to the sky, melt your chest toward your thighs. Take a nice bend in that right knee, press your left heel toward the mat. Bend the left knee, press your right heel toward the mat. And then just walk out your dog, bending one knee and then the other. Maybe swaying into your hips. Maybe shaking your head yes or no. We'll go ahead and come back to center. Inhale, rise up to the balls of the feet. Exhale, press your heels toward the mat. So inhale, rise up. Exhale, heels toward the mat. One more time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, heels toward the mat. We'll tiptoe our feet up toward our palms. heel toe our feet to the outer edges and come into our ragdoll. So just grab opposite elbows, let your head and neck hang nice and heavy. And just sway it out from side to side. Again, maybe shaking that head yes or no, letting it hang nice and heavy. And just beginning to let any stress, any tension just roll off your neck and back. Go ahead and release your hands, heel toe your feet back to about hip width apart. So we'll inhale, halfway lift, pull that back nice and flat. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale your arms to the sky. Go ahead and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then step back to your high push-up. Exhale to low. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. So we'll take 3 rounds of our sun A's moving with our breath. We'll walk, step, or float to the top of our mat. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. Walk, step, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Walk, step, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. So just breathing here. Coming back to your attention. Coming back to your breath. And just taking any movements or adjustments that feel good to you. Maybe pedaling out your feet. Maybe swaying into those hips or shaking your head yes or no. We're going to walk, step, or float to the top of our mat. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And we'll sink down to our chair. So sink your weight toward your heels, tuck your tail. So suck that belly button up and in. You can have hands at heart center or overhead. So just breathing here. So just inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Big breath in, long exhale out. Sink a little deeper or back off a little. So just finding that sweet spot for you. Go ahead and reach your arms to the sky. We'll make a connection overhead, so root through the feet. Plant that left foot into your mat. Reach over to the right, so getting a nice stretch in that left side body. Maybe peeling that left shoulder back. So just breathing here, maybe walking the gaze toward the sky if that feels good to you. We'll come back to center and then reach over to the left. So really plant that right foot, engage the core, protect the lower back. Reach through those fingertips. And just breathing here. Peel that right shoulder back. Go ahead and come back to center. Interlace fingers, press your palms down, and then press them up. So really stretch the body in those opposite directions. We'll release our hands to heart center. And just setting an intention for your practice today of coming back to your intention if you set one at the beginning. Just knowing that anytime the mind begins to race, you can come back to your intention, come back to your breath. So we'll inhale our arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Go ahead and reach that right leg to the sky. Bend your knee, peel open your hip. Maybe just rolling out that ankle. Trying to press equally into both palms. Keeping those shoulders square to the top of your mat. Go ahead and reach that right leg to the sky. We'll step through and rise up to our warrior one. So that back foot pointing toward about 10 o'clock. Right knee over that right ankle. You can have hands at heart center or reach them overhead. So trying to press into those outer edges of the feet. And just breathing here. So nice long inhale. Nice long exhale. Go ahead and interlace fingers behind your back. Shine your heart, so press those fists down, open up across the chest. We'll come into our humble warrior. So right shoulder to that right thigh. Letting those arms fall forward. And just gazing at the arch of that back foot. Go ahead and release your hands to the mat. Spin onto the ball of that back foot and reach that right arm to the sky. So press that back leg nice and long. Reach those right fingertips up. And stay here if you want to take a half bind. Bring that right hand to that left hip. And again, walking that gaze toward the sky if it feels good to you. We'll release that right hand to the inside of our foot. Go ahead and drop that left knee. And then heel toe that right foot toward the outer edge of the mat. So toes out, heel in. So you can stay right here. You can lower down to the elbows. If it feels okay, you can rock onto the outer edge of that foot. Or maybe adding some movement. Just trying to open up that hip. And begin to let any tension just pour out. Just breathing here. We'll go ahead and slowly make our way back up to our hands. We'll step back to our high push-up and just rinse through. So exhale to low, inhale to up, and exhale to down. So reach that left leg to the sky. Bend your knee, peel open your hip, and then maybe rolling out that ankle. Again, trying to keep those shoulders square, pressing equally into both palms. Reach that left leg to the sky. Step through and rise up to our warrior one. So back foot pointing toward about 2 o'clock. Left knee over that left ankle. So pressing into opposite edges of the feet. Lifting the chest, hands at heart center, or reaching those arms to the sky. So just breathing here. Feeling the strength, the stability in your legs. Go ahead and release your hands to your lower back. So interlace fingers, shine your heart, and coming into our humble warrior. So left shoulder toward that left thigh. Letting those arms fall forward. Just relaxing your head and neck. Just beginning to let any stress, any tension just roll off those shoulders. Just leaving it on your mat. Focusing on the breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Go ahead and release your hands, spin onto the ball of that right foot. Press into the right hand, reach that left arm to the sky. So back leg nice and long. You can always modify by dropping that back knee. Maybe staying here, maybe bringing that left hand to that right hip pocket, taking the half bind. Go ahead and release that left hand. We'll drop that right knee, and we're going to make our way into our lizard lunge. So you can stay right here, and heel toe that left foot toward the outer edge of your mat. Maybe lowering down onto the elbows, maybe rocking onto the outer edge of that foot. And again, just beginning to let any tension just pour out of that hip. So you can close the eyes if that feels good to you. And just maybe noticing any subtle differences on one side compared to the other. Just checking in with the body. Just breathing here. We'll go ahead and make our way back up onto our hands. Step back to your high push-up and rinse through. So exhale to low. Inhale to up. And exhale to down. So we're going to take 2 rounds of our sun bees, moving with our breath. So always knowing you can skip the flow and meet in downward facing dog. We'll walk, step, or float to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sink down to our chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Step that right leg forward. Rise up, warrior 1. Hands to the mat. Step back to your high push-up. Exhale to low. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. Step that left foot forward. Rise up, warrior 1. Hands to the mat. Step back to your high push-up. Exhale to low. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. Walk, step, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sink down to your chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. Right foot forward, reach and rise, warrior 1. Hands to your mat, step back to your high push-up. Exhale to low. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. Left foot forward. Reach and rise, warrior 1. Hands to your mat, step back to your high push-up. Exhale to low. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. So just coming back to your breath. So big breath in, filling up. Long exhale out, letting go. Go ahead and inhale, rise up to the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels toward the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, heels down. One more time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, heels down. We're going to keep our feet on our 2 separate planes, 2 separate running boards. Step that right foot forward and rise up to your crescent lunge. So staying on the ball of that back foot. We'll release hands to heart center and twist to the right. So left elbow to the outside of that right leg. Pressing into the palms, trying to peel open that top shoulder. maybe opening up to fly. Go ahead and release your hands. We're going to rise back up to our crescent lunge and then peel open to our warrior two. So spin that back foot flat, back foot lining up with the edge of your mat, right knee over that right ankle, and just reaching to opposite sides of the room. We're going to reach that right arm forward and then up and back, coming into our reverse warrior. So staying nice and bent into that front knee, reaching that right arm nice and long. We'll come back to our warrior two. Make our way into our triangle. So straighten that right leg, kick that left hip back. Reach forward, and then right hand coming to your shin, ankle, or toward the mat. Trying to peel your top hip and shoulder open. Trying to stack your body in one single plane. Go ahead and bend that right knee, catch your hips, toes in, heels out, facing the sidewall. We'll interlace fingers behind our back, shine our heart, and then exhale, forward fold. So you can have hands interlaced, falling forward. You can release your hands to the mat, just coming to wherever feels good to you. Go ahead and catch your hips, engage your core, slowly rise back up to standing. We're going to pivot back to those warrior one feet and come into our pyramid pose. So you might want to step that back foot partway in. Square those hips to the top of your mat. We're going to fold forward over that front leg. So you can plant your hands if you need blocks. You can use blocks. Or just folding over that front leg. Relaxing your head and neck. Pull that right hip back, left hip forward. Go ahead and step your left foot up to meet right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale to up. Exhale to down. So we'll keep those feet on those two separate planes, two separate running boards. Step that left foot forward and rise up to your crescent lunge. So back leg nice and long. Left knee over that left ankle. We'll release hands to heart center and twist to the left. So right elbow to the outside of that left leg. So pressing into the palms. Maybe opening up to fly. We'll go ahead and release our hands. So get nice and stable, nice and strong in the legs. We'll reach those arms back up to the sky, crescent lunge. And then peel open to our warrior two. So left knee over that left ankle, reaching those arms to opposite sides of the room. And we'll come into our reverse warrior. So reach that left arm forward and then up and back. So just breathing here. Come back to that warrior two. Straighten your left leg, kick that right hip back. Reach forward and come into our triangle. So reaching those left arms up, that right arm up, peeling that right hip and right shoulder open, and just stacking our body into that one single plane. We'll bend that knee, come back to our warrior two. Catch our hips. This time we're going to turn our toes out, heels in, coming into our goddess pose. So we want to glue our back to an imaginary wall. Slide down that imaginary wall, tuck that tail, protect that back. And then just come to goalpost arms. So we're going to release our hands to our thighs, press that right shoulder forward, left shoulder back. Left shoulder forward, right shoulder back. We'll come back to center, straighten the legs, reach through the arms. Release the hands to the hips. We'll pivot back to those warrior one feet, so that back foot pointing toward about 2 o'clock. Square those hips to the top of your mat. Maybe shorten that stance, and we're going to fold over that front leg into our pyramid pose. So just release your hands, relax your head and neck. Pull that left hip back. Just get a nice stretch in the back of that left leg. We're going to go ahead and step right foot up to meet left. And heel toe your feet toward the outer edges of your mat. Go ahead and take peace fingers around big toes. We're going to inhale, halfway lift, pull your back nice and flat, head and tail in opposite directions. And then exhale, forward fold. Maybe adding some movement, maybe pulling your body closer to the legs. Just breathing here. Shake your head yes or no. We'll go ahead and release our hands. Go ahead and just make your way into a seated position. So legs nice and long in front of you. We'll inhale our arms to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold. So just breathing here. Come back up to our seated position. Bring right foot to the outside of left. Sit up nice and tall. And twist to the right. So maybe gazing toward that right shoulder. Twisting any last remaining toxins out of the body. We'll come back to center, right leg nice and long. Left foot to the outside of the right leg. So sit up nice and tall, maybe flexing that foot, and then twist to the left. Again, maybe gazing toward that right shoulder. And just breathing here. We'll go ahead and come back to center. We're going to make our way onto our backs. So knees bent, feet about hip width apart. Right ankle to the top of that left leg. Hug the left knee into the chest. So letting any tension just pour out of that hip. Just breathing here. We'll go ahead and switch sides. Left ankle to the top of that right leg. Hug it in. Again, letting any tension just pour out of that hip. We'll come into our happy baby pose. So either taking peace fingers around big toes or grabbing the outer edges of the feet. Maybe staying here. Maybe gently rocking from side to side. We'll come back to center. Give yourself a great big hug. So curl up into a tight little ball. Squeeze your fingers, squeeze your toes, squeeze all of the muscles in your face and body. And then just letting go. Coming into your final resting position. So please feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Just sealing in your practice. Whenever you're ready, you can roll onto the right side, coming into a fetal position. And then slowly making your way up to an easy seated posture. Bringing hands to heart center. The light within me honors the light, love, and peace within you. Together we bow forward and say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for your practice today. I hope you have an awesome rest of the day.